Moving on with the checkup. Speaking of more, I guess, man, it's kind of depressing news, but also understandable. Margot Robbie, on if she's going to continue playing the character of Harley Quinn. So Margot Robbie, award season, a lot of press for Barbie coming up on the Golden Globes this upcoming weekend. We got the Oscars in a bit. She said regarding the character, quote, I always wanted Harley to be a character that would get passed on to other actresses to play. The way there are so many iconic male characters, that was always the dream for her. End quote. Ricky Flex, will she ever play Harley Quinn again?
Doesn't sound like it. It seems like she's on the greater pastures. Not only she's acting and getting nominated for best actress or whatever Academy Awards, she's also big time producing. Right, she was a big-time producer on Barbie, a huge reason why Ryan Gosling even took on the role. She had a plea with him to take on the role. Really went hard in the producing realm there. Will continue to do that, and I feel like she's just past this character. It's been almost 10 years since it's been 10 years since she's been cast. Almost 10 years since her first appearance as the character. She should not do the character again for her own sake, and also maybe the DCU should not cast her. A fresh start, like we've been saying. Get rid of the old, bring in the new. Don't have this confusing type of situation. Even in DC Elseworlds, we can't even do a DC Elseworlds project with her because there's already a new Harley Quinn in DC Elseworlds. So I think it's a good, hey, you both don't want to do it. I think this is good. So no, I don't think she's going to return. And I think it's good for both parties.
0% chance she ever returns to this character, Ricky. It's been kind of a mixed bag in terms of the projects and the reception in DC and the DCEU, then the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad obviously was that's a solid movie. It's one of the better movies in the history of the DCEU, but that wasn't as much of a pure Harley Quinn movie as, let's say, 2016 Suicide Squad with David Ayer. And that's kind of what the character is more known for. And this is a stage where early DCU, James Gunn taking the reins, loves the Harley Quinn character and loves Margot Robbie, but also has shown that he's not really carrying over much from the DCEU, right? He doesn't really even consider the story of Blue Beetle relevant to the DCU, but it was at that really weird tweener type of stage between DCEU, DCU. Is it going to be a release on Max? Is it going to be in theaters? Yada, yada, yada. No, we're just bringing the actor and the character itself. And everything else has been a disconnect. And Margot Robbie flat out is super young, but doesn't need Harley Quinn. Other actors that are her age, they would want to cling on to that character because of the box office success, because it's attached and now it's connected to one of probably the most famous cinematic villain of all time with the Joker. And I think she has carved its own corner, right, in that large page of great cinematic villains or anti-hero type characters. I think Harley Quinn is there. And I think because it's connected to the Joker is kind of what she's referring to with these type of characters. The ones that are consistently recast with different people. They return to the role all the time. She wants that same thing for a female version of the Joker with Harley Quinn. And to see that it's already happening in less than 10 years of live action projects with this character, that's pretty cool. It seems like she set the right path. And how flattering is it if Lady Gaga, an Oscar-nominated performer, is taking on the role that you started? That's freaking sweet, right? That's pretty cool. If you were the one to start that legacy, she's like the Jack Nicholson to Lady Gaga's Heath Ledger, not that it's going to be on that level of performance, but I think you understand what I'm saying here, right? Harley Quinn, and she's, booked forever. She doesn't have to worry about latching on to Harley Quinn. She is going to be in other franchise type of projects. She's in the Oceans prequel that's coming out. She doesn't need it, right? And personally, as a DCU fan looking for a fresh start, let's go something different, right? We don't even need a Harley Quinn in the DCU right now.
Yeah, and I think the big question is who's going to take on the mantle, right? And I immediately thought of a name
for the DCU.
A new Harley Quinn for the DCU, or whenever a new Harley Quinn for the DCU comes about, whether it's now or in a couple of years. And this person I immediately thought of is also on our checkup today, and that's Jenna Ortega.
Wow.
So she's 21. Margot Robbie, when she was casted as Harley Quinn, was 22, maybe even 21. So very similar ages. She has that punk rock to her, in the Wednesday, even in Scream franchise. She's going to be in Beetlejuice 2. This would be good for her, like not just for IP, get her name out there. Obviously, the Scream franchise no longer a part of that, famously now, but also like I would say like you work with like not only like this would just get you more publicity, but also maybe if James Gunn can find a good pairing for you directorial wise, like this could be another like upstart for her where like she got Wednesday but on a bigger scale in theaters and potentially in a franchise that she might be with the biggest villain that we've ever had, a villain who made $1 billion at the box office on his own. So I think that's an interesting potential casting. Immediately thought of it, but I can't think of anyone else that would be as good as that. That's that young.
Yeah, like a darker tone but comedic like Wednesday type of show, and like such a show that's popular with young audiences. I think that'd be perfect for the blockbuster realm, a comic book universe. Like I don't hate that shout at all. But what I was thinking, if you were to do like a more artsy pick, like Lady Gaga, obviously a more artsy pick to be playing Harley Quinn. What I thought of, if you really wanted to go for it, Mia Goth. I thought Mia Goth would be an
Oh
incredible
wow.
Harley Quinn. I think like her, just like the roles that she takes on, how eccentric they are, how she explodes and is so unpredictable on screen. She's made to play Harley Quinn, but she just doesn't seem like that actor that's going to take on that commercial appeal that a Jenna Ortega would. But that would be my dream casting of Harley Quinn. She would slay it.
That's a really good one. I would say the only problem is that she's almost Margot Robbie's age. She's only 3 years younger at 30.
But Margot
So
Robbie could still play Harley Quinn. It's just she doesn't need to. It's
yeah,
just
Mia Goth, like sure Maxine's coming out this year, and she's gonna be in the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. So maybe and like obviously like I think Andrew Garfield's in that and Frankenstein, like that's gonna be highly like critical focused, right? Like that's gonna be more of a drama, more of a oh look at this like good movie, right? This is
Elevated
more,
horror type thing.
yeah, exactly, elevated. Yes, that's the perfect word for it. So I don't know if she's gonna by the time like a Harley Quinn project will come out, maybe she's already past like being a superhero. Maybe like you know what I'm saying? Like she might be already past that. She's kind of in that in between spot. So the safer bet for her would be not to do this. But you are right. That would be the perfect casting. Like if like when it's like a trade deadline. Like you need to get one more person on your team, like just to put you in the threes, like a big hitter. No, like 1 year contract. You don't have him in the off season. Just
Put
pick
herself
up
up top.
somebody for one movie. It's Mia Goth, Harley Quinn.
And I would like the approach to Harley Quinn. I think a good reason to recast too. Harley Quinn is now like known more. You said it there. Like she's almost known more live action as a hero than a villain. I want to see her in the DCU when she eventually is established. Hopefully not immediately, and hopefully not in the first Batman movie that comes out with the Brave and the Bold. I want her to be the sidekick to the Joker. I want her as evil. I want her as a villain. I don't want her to be somehow a character we're rooting for eventually. I don't really know how she's going to be portrayed in Joker Folie à Deux. I don't think anyone knows exactly how that movie's going to portray those characters or the tone that it's going to have. I cannot wait for the trailer to finally come with that movie. And even if we get the trailer, I don't know how it's going to operate necessarily, but I want a Harley Quinn that kind of channels, right, the villain knee, right? The evilness that we see in like Batman the animated series. I want to see that. That's more comic book accurate, and like lore of the character. Don't just make her a hero.